It is often said that your employees are among one of the biggest assets for any organization. So what do you do to retain and incentivize them to be committed to your organization? One of the questions I have in mind is, does pension funds work as a solution to retain talent, risk benefits maybe, or maybe legal insurance? In today's episode on Money Adventures with TK, the Leruo TV edition, I have in studio a guest from Alliance Insurance Company from the Employee Benefits Department. I get to speak to the head of Employee Benefits, and as is tradition, please introduce yourself for people who do not know you.
Thank you, TK. My name is Ms Relebohile Seshemane-Kalake. I'm the head of Employee Benefits at Alliance Insurance Company. I am a young mother of two. I'm a professional. I am somebody who loves traveling. And I think, that's it. That's who I am.
So people who normally love traveling also spend money. In a good way. So how would you describe your relationship with your money? Does money love you, man? Does it love you? What's your relationship with money?
I think I have an evolving relationship with money.
Evolving.
Oh
wow, okay.
I think I started off as somebody who struggled a lot with my finances from varsity when I first had an opportunity to handle money, which is my own. But I think with growth and understanding and learning, I studied finance. So I think with that and, learning different things in the market as well as dealing with other people's money, I got to understand the value of money. And I think my relationship now is good.
It's good,
money.
healthy.
Yes, it's very healthy.
I love it. So we are talking employee benefits. For people who don't know what employee benefits are, what is your typical day? What do you do at Alliance? Employee benefits. What's employee benefits?
So basically, employee benefits is where we provide corporate benefits to employees on behalf of their employer. So we'd have an employer come in and request benefits for their employees, like your pension, your life cover, your disability benefits, and the likes. So basically, we do administration on our side, which is we keep records, we make sure allocation to each employee is done correctly, we make sure that the members' details are captured correctly in the system. For when the member goes on retirement, everything is in place and done accurately. We do investments on behalf of the employee. We make sure that the returns are allocated correctly. So that's the administration part of it. We do record keeping, basically, that's what it is. And then we also do insurance. So the insurance part of it is the risk benefits. I mentioned things like life cover. We call it group life assurance because it's meant for an entire group. We do disability benefits. So that's the insurance leg of the employee benefits department.
So who normally has the relationship with employee benefits? Is it the employees or the employer in this regard?
So under normal circumstances, we have a contract with the employer. As Alliance, will have a relationship with the employer where we contract the employer to cover their employees. So the actual person who takes up the contract is the employer in this case.
Okay. So among some of the solutions that you mentioned, for example, group life assurance, risk benefits, and the likes, pension or retirement funds are one of the benefits. So maybe talk us through what pension funds are. People always confuse a pension fund versus a provident fund. There's a standalone fund, there's an umbrella fund. What are pensions? In fact, let me ask the question this way. What are the benefits of people contributing towards retirement?
Okay. I think the retirement fund industry at large is the main aim of it is to save for retirement, as its name is. So the pension fund or the provident fund or whatever kind of fund that is meant for retirement is there to assist the employees to save today for when they are no longer in employment due to age. So they save for that age where they get to that age where they can no longer work and the employer will let them go. Therefore, then they have something to live on or an income that they can get when they are no longer able to work.
Am I ever too young to start saving for retirement? I have a lot of young people who watch the podcasts, people usually between 25 and 34. And every single time I speak about retirement or pension funds, the engagement that goes.
It sounds old.
Sounds very old. Yeah, sounds very old.
I think the best time to start is when you're young. It's one of the lessons that we try to impart to the members of the employers that we have on our book, to say it's very important to do extra while you can, because I think at that age, like you're saying, 25, when you're straight from varsity, you're getting into employment, you don't have commitments, you are yet to discover a lot of things in your life. That's the perfect time to start saving. It's actually the perfect time to also start adding extra onto your retirement fund, because once the commitments start coming, when you get older, you start having kids, you start getting a loan, you start buying a house, then your income starts getting smaller and smaller, your disposable income. So it's best to start early, so that by the time your commitments move into your income, then you've already built a reserve for yourself.
Okay, so now we're talking the importance of saving and planning for retirement, right? One of the benefits that the employee benefits in collaboration with the Alliance Legal Insurance, you've created a new product. Talk us through that product and how it serves, what it serves to achieve for the members.
Okay, so we have this new legal benefit that we have embedded into our group life assurance, which is the life cover that we offer to the employees. The reason behind it was that we have seen that there is a struggle in terms of estate planning, even in terms of us doing proper nominations, even on our pension funds, even on our personal assets. So we thought this is a good idea to embed it onto the group life assurance, which is a product that seeks to look after your dependents once you're no longer here. So we want all our members to have an ability to get free drafting of a will, for example, which is quite important because most of us don't have wills. At our age, we don't think of having a will. But due to experience, we have seen how important it is for our members to have a will, a valid will, to register a trust, for example. This is something that us as Basotho are not accustomed to, but we are also trying to introduce, say, as young as you are, register a trust. If you just have your firstborn, do something for them, register a trust, and we give those services for free through our group life assurance, free legal cover.
At Alliance, your today matters as much as your tomorrow. A wise man once said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it, keep looking. Don't settle. As you take care of your today, allow us, Alliance Employee Benefits, to look after your tomorrow. Alliance Insurance, always there to hustle.
In the conversation with Ndadela Hoa from Alliance Legal, he also mentioned that one of the benefits is marital counseling. So does this also extend to the members of the different funds, or how does that work?
On the fund, we only have drafting and legal advice.
Okay. So it's just purely from the estate planning and the legal advisory
absolutely,
perspective.
because our perspective is mainly to ensure that your benefits are taken care of, you allocate accordingly, and your current assets, for example, if you are buying a site, you make sure that you're buying the correct site. So we'll give you those services to go to LAA to make sure that the site is allocated correctly to you.
Oh, wow. So basically, members of retirement funds, they have access to this legal product from Alliance Legal. So you mentioned that we are drafting wills, the importance of drafting wills or setting up a trust. And you also mentioned that we need to nominate beneficiaries. So Pension Fund Act number 5 of 2019 is very clear that beneficiary nomination forms need to be updated. From your perspective as Alliance Employee Benefits, why is it important for members of retirement funds to update their beneficiary nominations?
Yeah, I think it's quite important. As you have mentioned, it is in the law in the Act that all members need to update their nomination forms. However, I think also the importance goes back to your estate. These funds that you're getting from your employer, your group life assurance, your pension fund, once you're no longer here, we know that culturally the family would appoint somebody who they call an heir who will take care of your estate. And under normal circumstances, those people do not know your interests. They do not know what you wanted for your kids. And this is where we come in and where the law comes in and says, allocate whatever you have accrued from your employer according to what you need. So that, I think that is the main interest, because when you don't do that, your funds end up in the wrong hands sometimes, and your children end up suffering, your dependents end up suffering, and it is your responsibility to ensure that that doesn't happen.
So basically we are saying, please update your beneficiary nomination forms. If you haven't done so, please contact your HR department or human capital and update that beneficiary nomination form. All right. So some people think that I can access my retirement funds anytime, right? It's no secret that things are a bit difficult financially for a lot of people. So people have this money sitting somewhere. What are the 4 ways that people can access their retirement funds?
Okay, thank you for that. I think it's quite important. This is a conversation that we're having around, even in South Africa, where people are actually voting towards getting their retirement funds early, which I think is not a good idea, because these funds are there for the purpose of retirement. So the 4 ways in which you can access your retirement fund is through, the first one is death, which is unfortunate.
I thought you would start with that one. you end with that one, but it's fine.
It's the first one, because we know you can get that early in your life. So that's the first way. The second way is through retirement, which is actually what we plan, that you get your money at retirement. Then you can get it also at dismissal, if you are dismissed from your employment. The fourth one.
So it's the dismissal we can change to retrenchment and then resignation.
Yes, resignation, dismissal, or dismissal. Yes.
Okay. So for people who are wondering, we speak about you are not too young. You're not too young to start saving for retirement. So people have been contributing. If they want to know at least how much they've accumulated, how can they go about doing that?
Okay. Currently, from the Act and the subsequent regulation, it's a requirement that we give all our members benefit statements annually. So we do issue benefit statements that show how much each member has. Over and above that, Alliance has also provided a member portal for all members for them to track how much they have each and every month. So as a member, you're able to go into the portal to check on a monthly basis whether your contribution has been allocated or not, and the interest thereof.
And then as a last question, for an employer, prospective employer who is watching this video and wants to set up a retirement fund for their employees, how do they go about that?
So we have a new business department where we provide quotes. So you can send us an email, or you can contact your broker if you do have one. But in a case where you don't have a broker, you are free to contact us directly at Alliance. You can give us a call. You can go onto our website. There's a send a code request button there where you can access us.
Thank you very much. And then I think just in closing, any final remarks, closing remarks, call to action that you want your people who are watching this channel to say or do, closing remarks.
All right, thank you. I think as my closing remarks, I would say please join Alliance. We are the best administrator in Lesotho. But over and above that, I would encourage all employers to take up retirement fund solutions and risk benefits for their employees as a retention strategy. And also, I think it's very important in our industry because that's the first phase of financial access to all employees. That's where it starts because of where we are as a country. So it's very important for employers to participate in retirement funds and also in risk benefits for their employees.
Thank you very much, Sesh. I call her Sesh. For the listener or the viewer watching or listening to this podcast, this episode was proudly sponsored by Alliance Insurance. I am from Leruo TV, and this is the edition of the Leruo TV. If you are a member of a retirement fund, let us know in the comment section below how much you, well, as a percentage, how, in fact, not even as a percentage, let us know how you are tracking towards your retirement goal. Secondly, let us know if you have updated your beneficiary nomination form. And then thirdly, how much do you know about the Pension Fund Act of 2020, in fact, 2019, and the subsequent regulations of 2020. So until the next video, give this video a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. But most importantly, share it with your family and friends who can benefit from this conversation. Thank you so much. Take care of your finances. Take care of your retirement benefits. And if you are changing jobs, please do not at all costs cash out. Rather preserve or transfer that to the next employer. I'll have a separate video on that on another platform or another day. So until the next video, guys, love, peace, and money. Signing out. Thank you.